Welcome to My Life on Coasters, where today I'm here at Bobbejaanland in Belgium for my first ever visit. So yeah, I think this park's actually quite a large park. I think they've got 9 roller coasters. There's a Gerstlauer Eurofighter, a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. That's Fury, as you can see, just over the entrance. Yeah, we've just parked up here. This is the official car park, but I've got to cross the road to get into the park. So I'll see you once we're in Bobbejaanland for the first ever time. And there's Fury. Yeah, that is Fury over there. I'm not sure where we're going to head to first. It's quite busy. Yeah, quite surprised about it being busy actually, because it's just a weekday at the start of September. But yeah, that is Typhoon, the Gerstlauer Eurofighter, so maybe we'll head there first. Into the land of legends then. I'm pretty sure this is the area with the 2 Gerstlauers. Yeah, you've got Typhoon here, which is quite an old looking Gerstlauer Eurofighter. Yeah, Fury and Typhoon are on that signpost there, so yeah, we'll head towards Typhoon, I think, which is this one. Yeah, found the entrance to Typhoon. I think this is going to be best to start on because Fury, the other Gerstlauer, is quite busy. It's got a 40-minute queue, this only says 20, so yeah, going to start on here. Right, not going to do Typhoon because look at that is a big old queue, to be fair. That ain't going to be 20 minutes like it said online. I think we will go over and start at Fury, which is the orange coaster there. Going to give Fury a miss as well because that said it was 40 minutes and that looks quite busy. You've got a Maura spinning coaster here called Naga Bay. I don't know, it said 25 minutes. It might not be too busy, to be fair. If not, we'll continue down to their suspended coaster, Dreamcatcher. Ion, that is quite busy as well. Yeah, I've seen a lot about this ride. It's just King Kong and he's holding like a bus. I think that one's become a little bit internet famous. Let's head down into Desperado City then. Yeah, this looks like it might be quite well themed actually. Some of the parks are a bit iffy with the theming. There's a wild mouse over there. Yeah, keep following the pathway around and hopefully we'll get to Dreamcatcher. I'm hoping that's at the back of the park, so it should be pretty quiet. Yeah, at least this bit of the park is a little bit quieter. So Dreamcatcher then, it's got the same trains as Vampire I think, so I'm not expecting it to be the smoothest. This is Dreamcatcher then. The first worrying thing is there's a train sat there with open restraint, so that's not on the track, that's in the maintenance bay, so it must be on one train. It says 20 minutes, but yeah, we're going to join the queue for it, Dreamcatcher, and see how long it takes. Yeah, Dreamcatcher, it's on one train, and the queue is absolutely packed. It's in a cattle pen, so I'm going to keep going around here. There is a little family coaster called Okie Dokie. Now I'm hoping that one might not be too busy, so we'll start over there. I have just had a look, and Speedy Pass is an option at this park. It seems like all the rides have got it, so unfortunately it looks like I might have to get that. I don't normally get Speedy Pass, but yeah, I've got one day at this park. It's short opening hours today, and there's like 9 roller coasters, so yeah, if I have to get it then we will, but everything is super busy today. Made it around here to Okie Dokie, and I'm sure it will still have a queue, but I'm hoping the queue won't be as bad as some of the other rides. So let's head on to my first ride of the day. Found the entrance all the way down here, as long as yeah, Okie Dokie, 15 minutes. Let's head on. So that is Okie Dokie done there. That was a pretty fun family coaster, to be fair, and it only took about 10 minutes to get on. I think it's some fighter jets that keep going over the park, so if you keep hearing that noise, that's what it is. But yeah, it was a good family coaster. Glad to get the coaster credit. It wasn't anything too thrilling, but it was smooth, enjoyable, couple of twists, turns, and it went over the lake, which was pretty cool. So yeah, on to the next one. I do actually really like the location though, because you can sort of stand at this point of the lake and see most of the rides. Like you've got Fury over there, I think that's the main attraction here, to be honest. Then you've got the spinning coaster, the Mara one. I can't remember what that's called, Naga Bay I think, isn't it? And then Dreamcatcher over there, which would probably take all day to get on. And then what I've just done, Okie Dokie. So I'll keep heading around this way until we find a coaster that's got a short queue, although there is a powered coaster just over there, so maybe we'll head there next. Found the entrance to the powered coaster then. It's called Bob Express and it says it's only got a 10-minute queue, which is really good. So let's go on Bob Express then. Yeah, thankfully the queue isn't bad at all for this one. It's like a budget version of the Austrian themed area at Europa Park with the log flume and things. But yeah, it's nice all over the lake and stuff. Yeah, the queue's literally just on this ramp, so probably 10-15 minutes maximum. So I've just ridden Bob Express there, the powered coaster. I'll see if I can get a little bit of off-ride footage. But yeah, that was quite good. It was really, really long. You go around twice, so I was on there for actually a really long time. Yeah, it's quite enjoyable. It's just like most powered coasters. A couple of like helixes, some twists, turns. There was a lot of straight sections where you were going around the like park and the Rocky themed area and the log flume on there. So it's quite good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, this area is really well themed right at the back of the park. Walking over towards the Wild Mouse, and then there's an indoor coaster called Revolution that's a bit of a world record holder. Probably do this Wild Mouse first though. Speedy Bob then, it says 15 minutes, which isn't too bad for a Wild Mouse coaster. Let's head on. Yeah, this isn't too bad actually, it probably is only going to be about 15 minutes. Just up here and then up a long ramp into the station. Speedy Bob, that was a really fun Wild Mouse. The braking was very smooth because sometimes they can really jolt you about. On the up and down, it felt a bit sort of loose on the wheels, if you know what I mean. It was rattling about a bit, but yeah, very enjoyable. There's a lot of the same ride layout, but I do really like the Wild Mouses. There's one at Chessington called Rattlesnake, and I like that one as well. Actually, I guess you'd call them Wild Mice, wouldn't you? Not Wild Mouses. So just round this corner is an indoor coaster called Revolution, and it actually features the world's longest roller coaster train. I believe it's got 30 rows and can seat 60 people, so I think this might be a little bit nuts. It's called Revolution. It's in a big green building over there that I could see from the Wild Mouse, so yeah, let's go and give this a go. I'm actually really excited for this. Revolution indoor coaster. Yeah, it's only on 10 minutes, so that is really short actually. I guess it's going to be because it should have quite a good throughput. In gang. Yeah, that's the big building I was talking about, so yeah, I'm not sure what to expect from the layout. The only thing I know about this is it's got a really long train and like a spiral lift hill. Wow, this is really well themed. look at the length of the station for this one. We'll go as far as we can to the back. Revolution was really good there. Lots of indoor strobe lighting. Don't get me wrong, the coaster wasn't that impressive. Like, it wasn't a great layout, it was more just going round and round, but the fact the train's so long, you got up that really impressive spiral lift hill, and then sort of you just come round the outside of that spiral lift hill until you eventually reach the bottom. But it was very cool, very quick. A lot of it was in the dark. Yeah, really enjoyed that. It was a really good coaster, Revolution. Definitely my favourite that I've done so far. This is the spinning coaster then, Naga Bay. I think we'll give it a go. It's a Mara spinning coaster, although it looks quite interesting because it's got a different track type. I think the entrance was, is it here or do we have to go back round there? Naga Bay then. Yeah, Mara spinning coaster. I don't know if it's because it's older or newer, the reason the track's like this. Yeah, it's weird because if it wasn't for the trains, you wouldn't think it was a Mara spinning coaster, because most of the time they've got a different track, like Dragon's Fury or Spinball Whizzer back in the UK. 15 minutes. Let's go on. Yeah, thankfully I don't think the queues are as bad as I thought. This one's just got a little bit of cattle pen, and then it's up into the station. No idea on the layout or anything of this one though.
Die blauwe gaat 5 keer op de voorkant. Eén keer. Hij haalt een curve. Maar luister, hij heeft één loop.
Just rid Naga Bay then. Yeah, that was actually a really fun spinning coaster. I've just had a look on Wikipedia and the Rollercoaster database. It opened in 2011, so it's newer than Spinball Whizzer and Dragon's Fury, which is why it's got that weirder track. But yeah, it was really smooth. It wasn't the longest ride, to be honest, but it was smooth on the brakes, it was smooth around the track. There were some fun bits, and it did spin a fair amount. Nothing to make you feel too sick though. Not too sure where to go next. I've still got 3 roller coasters left to do at this park. So I've just joined the back of the queue for Typhoon now. It's nowhere near as busy as it was earlier. Just got to go up into a little bit of cattle pen and then up into the station. I've just ridden Typhoon there, and honestly, that big queue, it moved really quickly. I probably could have joined that this morning and not panicked about everything being too busy today, because I've done really well so far, and that queue only took 25 minutes, even in all like those ramps and that cattle pen. Typhoon, I was expecting it to be rough like Saw and give me a headache. It was actually really smooth, to be honest, for what I was expecting. Don't get me wrong, it's no like Icon or Hyperion with its smoothness. It's a bit shaky, but no, it's no more shaky than the likes of Rage, I didn't think. I mean, in a few parts, maybe, but it's a really good layout on there. You've got the vertical drop after the vertical lift hill into a loop. Then there's like this double roll thing, which is really cool. There's another Heartline roll, there's a few helixes. It all comes together to make a really good ride there. I'm actually surprised that we didn't get more of that exact same layout and we get more of the ones like Rage. The only thing I did think is maybe there's a lot of excess track that isn't that thrilling on there. There is a lot of like straight sections that you're not going very quick on, so maybe that's part of it. But yeah, honestly, the pacing wasn't great. It sort of did everything and then it would slow down for a second, there was a block break, but that gave you a good chance to have a look around. So I really did actually like Typhoon. It exceeded expectations there. Let's go to Fury then. I'm not too sure how long this queue's going to take. It said 25 minutes, so maybe not too bad. Yeah, really excited for this one. It is the big standout here at Bobbejaanland.
Maar Noah, jij zit toch naast mij? Ja, ja, wordt dat voor? Ik heb de reis. Hij kijkt mij echt 30 uur kijken.
I've just ridden Fury then. The queue took about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes there. There was a small breakdown which did add to the delay, but that was probably maybe 10 minutes. Big queue. I didn't realise at the station you basically split off. One of them you get to pick which way you go, which will be forwards or backwards, with buttons on the train, which is really unique. I don't know of another coaster that does that. And the other one was to do it forwards. Now I think more trains were going for forwards, so that queue moved a bit quicker, but I did the one where you get to vote. Thankfully I got called forward, so we got on a bit quicker, just so they were filling the trains. And yeah, it was really good on Fury. Did the backwards cycle, so I was lucky that I voted to go backwards, obviously, because it's a bit more thrilling. Really good layout, nice and smooth, comfortable trains. Just a really fun coaster is Fury. Shame about the length of the queue, because I'd like to give it a good few rides. Like, I'd love to lap that 6-7 times, but I'll probably be able to get a ride or maybe another 2 rides on it, depending. But it is still a really fun coaster. You've got the spikes on there, stole the show I think for me, and this amazing sort of top hat, that big tall element up there. But yeah, there's a big spike, so let me see if I can see it. There you go. That one right at the back there was really, really good. Like, you were just looking at sky and hung there for ages. So I really like Fury. I don't know if it's top 10 worthy for me, but it's still a very solid coaster. Yeah, this is way quieter than earlier. Earlier it was in these 2 rows here. It had filled up, so as you can imagine, that was a lot of queue. Now it might actually be a bearable queue. It's still going to move very, very slowly though. Yeah, it took about 15 minutes to get into the air gates for Dreamcatcher. Capture done there. That wasn't as bad as I was expecting because it's really old. It's like 30 something years old. Opened in 1987, and the Vampire is quite rough. That was probably about as rough as the Vampire. It wasn't really much worse. I think I still prefer the Vampire. It's got a better layout. That was more just helixes over water. It did the same thing over and over again in sort of slightly different ways. Then you sort of switch direction, get a bit of swinging going, and then you go into another helix. I'd say like the actual swinging suspended aspect of it was better than Vampire, but yeah, it wasn't nothing to shout about. It was still a decent enough family ride though. But yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to wait that long for it. Waited about 20 minutes in the end. Gonna head over and do, well, I think we'll do Typhoon again now, which was the Gerstlauer Eurofighter, because I quite enjoyed that. I do also want to get another ride on Fury. I don't know if I'll have time for much else. There's a Frisbee ride that I want to do as well over by Fury. There's 40 minutes until the park's about to close, and it's like everyone's left. Like at some parks it will filter out and get gradually quieter. That's not happened here. It feels like everyone has rushed out and gone. So I'm assuming it's mainly school trips today. Round into the entrance for Typhoon. It says it's on 5 minutes, which would be really good. Get a re-ride on here quickly. And then yeah, I'll see what the time is. I would like to do the Frisbee swing thing, which I don't know if you can see it, and I don't know how to get to it, but I'll see how I'm doing for time after Typhoon. Yeah, this is dropped right off. There's like 1 or 2 trains worth of queue. So let's go on to Typhoon. Typhoon done. I got the front row that time. There's only 2 rows, so last time I was sat at the back, so you can't see that much. That was really good actually. I like that. It's not my favourite Gerstlauer Eurofighter. I still think I prefer the one to like the Rage. They're just a bit smoother. You get more hang time. I feel like it's got better pacing. It does more in its short layout. But yeah, that's still a really solid ride. I'm going on Sledgehammer now, which doesn't look like it's got much of a queue because I think most people have left. Which is the Frisbee, I can't think of, gyro swing. That's the word I've been looking for all day. I've been calling it a Frisbee. And it looks like it'll interact with Fury. Once I come off this, I will be joining the Fury queue straight away. That's Sledgehammer done then, the park's gyro swing. It opened back in 2002, I was reading. So it's quite an old ride, and yeah, it was very, very good, especially for its age. The restraints were very, very sort of restrictive on there. Like they had these big, bulky, over-the-shoulder ones, so you couldn't see much each side of your head, to be honest, but it was still very good, very intense. It swung very high. Definitely enjoyed that. One of my favourite gyro swings, although I do prefer more modern stuff like Cyclonator at Pond's Park, even if they're not quite as big, because yeah, it was quite bulky, the restraints, but still a very enjoyable ride. Going to be over to Fury now. I've got 10 minutes until the queue's going to close, so let's go and get into Fury's queue. We were really lucky there. They just shut the queue, but the guy was really nice and just let us through the gate. So we're last in the queue for Fury. Yeah, this is what I mean about you pick your side. So that's either way. We're queuing for forward now because we did backwards last time. I've just ridden Fury there. Got really lucky in the end because what happened is there was a security guard. He'd just closed the gates and he was about to lock them, I think. He saw us and he let us through. So that was really good. Really glad about that because I wouldn't have got a ride on Fury if it wasn't for that security guard. I'm not sure what the policy is because that was more than 10 minutes before the park was scheduled to close. So I'm assuming they try and close queues a bit earlier to get things wrapped up for 5. In all fairness, I didn't read anywhere that the policy was ride queues would remain open until 5 o'clock. I didn't know, but that's just a sort of generally done thing in Europe I've found. Anyway, my ride on Fury, I went for a forward-facing one, very enjoyable. The launch, like the main launch up that spike, was way better doing it forwards because you're going backwards for the most intense part of the launch. Really enjoyed that. There's some good hang time on there. There's some air time going up into the top hat. That was great. Really enjoyed Fury. I've had 2 rides on there today, so not as many as I'd have liked, but still pretty good. And that is a really, really solid coaster. Yeah, I think I like to get things wrapped up quickly here at Bobbejaanland because not only were they trying to close the coaster queue line early, I think, yeah, they're closing most things early and they've got the golf buggies running around. Let's have a quick look in the shop then. Big old shop. I hope though that they've got some ride branded merch and it's not just like general stuff like SpongeBob or anything. It's all SpongeBob. Oh, there's some stuff over there. Right, let's go over here. Terra Magma. Oh, cool, we've got loads of magnets. Little drawstrings for Terra Magma. I didn't get time to do that in the end, unfortunately. Fury. Oh, that's a cool mug. Revolution. That was a good ride, actually. We've got some hoodies. They're quite cool. $16.99 for the kids t-shirt. What's this t-shirt? In adult size, I assume. Yeah, €24.99. So I didn't get anything in the shop in the end. I really wanted like a Fury magnet or a nice Fury t-shirt. They didn't have it either, so I didn't get any. Yeah, it's been a really good day here at Bobbejaanland. I've managed to do all the coasters in the end. I didn't even know if I'd be able to do that. I've not really done anything else other than the gyro swing, sledgehammer. Fury is a really solid coaster. It was my reason for visiting. It's definitely met expectations. Probably exceeded them as well. It was really, really fun. Typhoon's definitely exceeded expectations. I was expecting that just to be another rough little Gerstlauer Eurofighter, but it wasn't. It was actually really enjoyable. Other than that, nothing too much of note. Revolution's a good indoor coaster. Quite a cool novelty with the longest train in the world. Naga Bay, the spinning coaster, that was really fun, but it was quite short. What else was there? There was the Wild Mouse, Dreamcatcher. They were fairly meh rides. Okie Dokie and the Power Coaster were good, like family, not very thrilling family coasters. And yeah, that is Bobbejaanland. Outside the entrance now, just about to leave. There's probably quite a few, like there was a dark water ride called Terra Magma. I wanted to do that. There was a dark ride I would have done. Quite a few flat rides dotted about, but unfortunately I just didn't have time today. It was only a very short 10 till 5 day and I didn't get here until about 11:15. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one.